Hello, everybody. My name is Mitch Hughey. I'm doing a research project here on digital services inside the library with Lindsay. Together, we've done some research and collected some articles for you. I'll go ahead and kind of jump into the topic and talk about some of the big issues and some of the services and the technology that we've found is being offered in libraries now. Our research is intended to develop a better understanding of the effectiveness of library-sponsored digital services and technology. Many communities face a wide array of social and economic challenges. Improved access to essential information and services through improved access to the internet is one of the most powerful tools that exist for these communities to combat long-standing economic challenges. Rural library patrons can improve their lives with improved access to the internet, and library-sponsored technology and services are an attempt to improve community access to the internet. For millions, tablets and smartphones are the way that they access this essential information and services, and so we were curious how libraries have worked to sponsor these new technologies, as well as how they have adapted to all the major shifts that happened during the COVID-19 related closures. First, I want to mention the services offered by libraries that we discovered during our research. Libraries are essential to their community because librarians are able to offer tailored, specialized service one-on-one with patrons that's customized to patrons' needs and is flexible enough to work with whatever personal devices that they may bring into the library. Also, librarians offer a lot of technical service abilities and specialized processing and archiving knowledge. More especially during COVID, the digitization of existing library materials and offering those through databases online to patrons. Libraries, of course, also offer their material through online catalogs, and they work to expand public access to ebooks and other databases inside the collection. This accelerated during COVID, but that work is, of course, continuing now to give patrons the widest array of availability possible. Through our own individual research and for the articles that we selected this week for you to read, you'll see the technology that's currently being offered in libraries. They've offered Wi-Fi hotspots and tablets that are available to patrons for checkout. Also, during COVID, they developed new creative solutions to existing problems, like the drive-in Wi-Fi available that was made in different parking lots. And there's an article on that you'll read this week. Not to mention more traditional, long-standing services inside the library, like public access to computers, Wi-Fi access inside the library for patrons to use their own devices, and of course, affordable access to printing services and scanning technology. Some of the more unique themes that we found in our research was the concerns around continued funding. There were several librarians that mentioned that they found that they had the time and the resources to take on their own, what they called like a COVID project. But now that things have kind of shifted back to a more normal modes of operation, they don't feel like they have the time or the funding or resources that are going to continue forward long enough for them to take on more projects or or use their initiative to get more projects done inside the library. Mobility was another major concern for many librarians. They felt as though staying ahead of quickly changing patron services and device needs was very challenging. They were offering current technology, but without spending too much of the library resources focused on one particular cure-all or one particular device or services that would meet all of their patron needs. Okay, shifting to our research findings, we found that libraries are using unique problem-solving skills, like the drive-in Wi-Fi services that were offered in public library parking lots, to ensure access to students 24/7, access to reliable broadband internet services. We also found that these technologies and services were transformative inside communities. They'd ensured technology to essential services. Technology has the ability to improve lives. It can help someone's socioeconomic status. And of course, during COVID closures, it was essential to provide broadband internet services so that students could interact with their teachers. So as we found, and as you'll see in the different articles that we decided to highlight for this week, um, each library has its own technology or service that they introduced into their community that was able to improve access to these essential services and information, especially in low-income communities. The services offered by public libraries were critical in ensuring reliable internet access, especially through COVID, which just kind of exacerbated long-standing inequities. I wanted to take the chance to kind of do a little bit of an overview of our research findings and an overview of some of the services and technology that's being offered in libraries. Lindsay's going to do a demo of a couple different academic resources and databases that you can search, and I wanted to share a couple other resources with you. All of the information for the articles that we decided to choose this week is in our infographic that's on the page. And there's a couple searchable map databases that had some really relevant information that I wanted to share as well. The first website I wanted to share with you really quickly is broadbandnow.com. They compile research from the FCC regarding how many internet services providers are available in each community. They overlay this data into this mapping system. They're able to search the entire United States and find out how many internet service providers are available in each community. And so this week we invite people to utilize this resource to search their own community so they can kind of draw their own trends and see kind of the services available to the people in their community and the communities around them. For example, if you take Salem, where I live now in Salem, Oregon, notice how dense the service providers are in the urban areas, and then you can kind of see the green band of the suburban areas, and then once you're out into the actual rural areas, how quickly and how dramatically those drop to those redder, pinker colors. The second website that I wanted to share with everybody is fcc.gov. They compile data on health and broadband connectivity, and you're able to decide different filters and overlay internet connectivity directly related to a wide selection of different health and medical issues that are commonplace in the United States. It's a really unique resource in that sense that you're able to compare broadband connectivity, urban density, and different demographic information and health information all in the same place, kind of layered together. We invite everybody this week to search their own communities and draw any sort of inferences that they can from those and the other health and information that's displayed on the website. For instance, if you take, again, my home in Salem, notice how the communities that were more spread out, that had fewer internet providers, also experience higher level of diabetes. So in summary, we wanted to select a few articles that highlighted the health and socioeconomic impacts of technologies and services offered by public libraries today. Public libraries are critical in ensuring reliable internet access for low-income communities. Internet access has become a critical tool in accessing essential services and information, and library-sponsored services and technology like Wi-Fi hotspots, drive-in Wi-Fi, were critical to communities, especially during the COVID pandemic closures that affected rural communities and low-income communities. Great. Well, thank you. That was Digital Services Inside the Library. Please read the articles for this week and reach out with any questions.